Have you ever heard of a ghost in the machine? And I'm not talking about some bug or a weird glitch. I mean the actual spirit of a computer, living on long after its physical body is gone. Today, we are diving into one of the most fascinating ghost stories in all of tech history.
Think about a computer that absolutely defined a generation. The Amiga, right? With its insane multimedia capabilities that were just way ahead of its time. Well, what if I told you its soul, its very essence, is still out there, evolving, growing, and changing? It's a pretty wild idea, isn't it? So yeah, we're going to explore that exact idea. And listen, this isn't just about getting nostalgic for old hardware. This is about a living, breathing project that's carrying the torch for a true legend of the tech world. So let's set the scene. It's 1995. The original Amiga era is kind of winding down. But a small team of developers, they just decided, nope, we're not going to let this incredible operating system just fade into history. And right then and there, the seeds were planted for its spiritual successor. So what is this ghost? What is this project that's been quietly humming in the background for decades, keeping that spirit alive? Let's pull back the curtain. It's called AROS, which stands for the AROS Research Operating System. And the most important thing to know is that it was designed from the ground up to be incredibly lightweight and super flexible. It's really a modern take on the same principles that made the original Amiga so special. At its very heart, AROS is really defined by 4 core principles. It's built to be independent, so not tied to any single company or any one piece of hardware. It's portable, which means it can run on all sorts of different machines. And it's completely free and open source, which allows this global community to build it and make it better. Okay, so we know what it is, but how in the world does it actually capture the soul of an Amiga? Well, the answer is, it's pretty clever. It all comes down to its core technical goal. You see, the mission was never to just copy Amiga OS. Instead, the developers went for something much smarter, compatibility at the API level. Okay, but what does that actually mean in plain English? It basically means that AROS speaks the same language as Amiga OS, so developers can take the source code for their old Amiga programs, just recompile it, and bam, it runs natively on AROS. This is not an emulator slowing things down. A much better way to think of it is like Wine on Linux, which lets you run Windows apps. This is the secret sauce for keeping that incredible software legacy alive. And you can really see the evolution when you put them side by side. The original Amiga OS, it was stuck, tied to that specific Motorola 60K hardware. AROS completely breaks those chains. It runs on modern PCs, Raspberry Pis, you name it. It went from a closed proprietary system to a completely open source community project. And maybe most importantly, it's not some museum piece. It's being actively developed right now. Ooh, I love this. This is the unofficial motto of the ARS project. It's kind of this playful jab at a famous corporate promise, but it perfectly captures the spirit of the whole thing. It's a passionate, community-driven project that cares more about getting it right than hitting some arbitrary deadline. This is a project powered by passion, not by profit. And that passion, well, it leads to real results. This isn't just some historical curiosity we're talking about. AROS is very much alive and breathing today. And here's the proof. Just look at the project's recent activity this year alone. The volunteer team has been constantly pushing out meaningful updates. I mean, everything from improving support for original hardware to adding new languages to making the system work on modern 64-bit and ARM computers. This project is not standing still. So, why does all that technical stuff matter? Well, porting a library like SDL2, that opens a door for a ton more games and apps. All those 64-bit fixes mean AROS is way more stable on the PC you might be using right now. And the ARM build fixes, that means you can run this amazing piece of computing history on a tiny little device like a Raspberry Pi. This progress has real, tangible benefits for anyone who wants to try it. Okay, so you're intrigued. I get it. You want to see this ghost for yourself. So how do you actually get started? Well, it's a lot easier than you might think. The best way in is through something called a distribution. Now, if you've ever used Linux, you know exactly what I'm talking about. These are basically prepackaged versions of AROS that come with all the essential apps and drivers you need to have a great experience right out of the box. And you've got choices, depending on what you want to do. If you want a full-blown desktop experience on a modern PC, Icaros Desktop is what you're looking for. If you're lucky enough to have one of those incredible new FPGA-based Amigas, you'll want Apollo OS. And if you want to run it on original hardware or in an emulator, there's AROS Vision. See? There's an entry point for just about everyone. And get this, to run the PC version, the minimum requirement is just 256 megabytes of RAM. That's it. I mean, that perfectly shows you just how lightweight and efficient this operating system really is. It can breathe new life into older computers that modern operating systems have totally left behind.
Ultimately, the project's survival really comes down to its core philosophy. By staying independent of any specific hardware, by staying independent of corporate control, AROS has managed to dodge all the legal battles and drama that have plagued other Amiga-like projects. It is free in every sense of the word.
So what's the big takeaway here? AROS is so much more than just code. It's proof that a dedicated community can keep a powerful idea alive and evolving for decades, completely outside the world of tech giants. And it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other digital ghosts are out there, just waiting for us to find them?